it is wacky. The first half of the episode, like I said in the intro, they're just practically talking about sucking and fucking and this and that and all this.
Another one.
This girl was doing my this and this one was bending me over that. And the whole thing. Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
And it's funny because Mark Norman's behind a lot of this weird ass horny talk, and Mark Norman's so goddamn awkward. He's like, I got a boner. You know what I mean? Like
He's so funny.
He's very. He can be very funny. Sometimes he can be hacky to me a little bit, but he's just because he's so awkward. He like never shuts it off. If you ever watch these things are like fucking. Some of these episodes are like 5.5 hours long, and every fucking second, Mark has to make a pun or a goddamn fucking innuendo about something. It's fucking ridiculous. But in this, I thought it was funny because the last episode they were getting fucked up. Toward like hour 4, you couldn't understand shit that anyone was saying. Everyone was so goddamn fucked up. They're slurring. Joe Rogan's like, hey. Like, you know how people do that to try to get your attention?
Yeah.
It's like 2 people are clearly making a point. Joe's like, hey, Jamie, pull that up. Like, you know, it's like, shut the fuck up, you old fuck. But Mark didn't want to get too fucked up in this one. So look what he does. This is so fucking classic.
Space. Apparently Congo, something's happening.
What's going on in the Congo?
Oh, the Uyghurs?
No, that's China.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's some.
Are you drawing?
I'm keeping a tally. Last I was so rough with the puking. I'm keeping a tally of my
this
drinks.
Fucking smart. This guy.
Dude.
That's smart.
He wants to keep a tally of his drinks. He wants to fucking keep a tally of his drinks. Why? So he doesn't say no stupid shit on the podcast? Tallying up the drinks is not going to help you, okay? I'm just telling you now. And Mark, he can be a funny guy. Like I said, to me, he can be a little hacky sometimes. He never shuts the shit off. But little do people know, he's actually kind of an asshole. Like, he talks about this in this show. We're going to play it here in a second. He's literally talks about how he kicked a woman out of his show for laughing. At a comedy show, you kick someone out for laughing. The fuck? That's like being on a cruise and being like, I'm sorry, sir, we're going to have to throw you overboard. You're drunk. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Everybody else is drunk, but for some reason, you got to fucking go. And we don't have time to dock over at Turks and Caicos. So get the fuck out of here. Like, listen to this shit.
Dude. He was having fun.
It's so hard to explain to a positive person that they're ruining everything.
I know.
Yes.
Right. Especially one with a 70 IQ.
I did Philly last week, and I had the lady who had the crazy laugh. So
Yeah.
she's nice. She's loving the show. She's like, and you're like, you got to go.
Yeah.
You're ruining everything. She's like, I'm laughing. I'm like, but
you kicked her out?
I had to. It was too much. She ruined the opener's whole set.
Yeah.
So then when I went on,
fast.
she's laughing in the middle of.
I don't know. That doesn't seem justified to me.
Nope.
I don't know.
Not at all.
You can't just kick some chick out for laughing at you. You're literally trying to make people involuntarily laugh. It's your job on the stage. That's the only reason you're there, dude. So if people laugh, you can't just kick them out. I'm sorry, sir. That's not how that works. So crazy. And Mark, he's the one that he starts off this whole little horny fiasco that they get going on. Because now, this is only 17 minutes in. He's like, I kicked the lady out. They haven't even started drinking the brews yet. You know what I mean? They're barely scratching the surface on these Bud Lights. Shane's sponsored by Bud Light, so you know there's going to be Bud Lights sprinkled all throughout this goddamn thing. Jesus fucking Christ. But you go to the... Now, this is where they start talking about sex and a girl fucking this, and I'm getting sucked on this, and then Mark says something. Now, remember, he was tallying up those drinks. He was trying not to say stupid shit like this. And then listen to what he says here.
And I was like, this isn't my thing. It's like eating ass. Like, I'll eat an ass, but if some chick tries to eat my ass, I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that. No.
Oh, God.
couldn't
Pause
agree
that real
more.
fast.
Completely agree.
That's just wrong for
There's a lot of truth to that. I mean, guys might give a lick or two, but you can't do that back. That's a one-way mission. That's a one-way mission if it even happens. Me, I'm not too fond of doing that. I don't know about you, Andy. Nah, just fucking. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. But if I was, and a chick tried to do it to me, I agree with Ari. I'd be like, sorry, lady, you can't do that. You know what I mean? That would just make the whole computer crash. I'd be like, I'm sorry. This program will not run at this moment. But yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. You shouldn't be doing that. It's just something weird. There's no equality in this one. That is a woman's job or a man's job only. If it's good, it's a woman's job. Only women can eat ass. God damn it. That's the new fucking 2024 rule. But then Mark chimes in with this one. They're trying to have a good old boys moment. Mark's like, check this out.
Yeah,
this is bad.
When they put your legs up like a toddler, no, thank you. There's a fucking paper
Norman,
clip down
tell
there.
us more. Put my legs up.
Tell us more. The old diaper change.
So you see how awkward Mark's face is right now, right?
Yes.
He's like, what? Am I alone here? I'm the only one? God damn it. He's like, what? You guys aren't fucking gay?
It almost seems like he's like, wait, I revealed too much.
Yeah. You ever been working with somebody and they say some shit like that? And you're
1,000%.
You're like, bro, that ain't the move, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, my wife's got me hanging from the ceiling with nipple clamps. You're like, that's not the move, man. Nobody else is doing that, bro. Sorry. You're literally the only one here. And the same with Mark right now. And you can see it in his face. I'm going to zoom in on that. Look at this guy. Why is Spotify doing this to me and making the screen all black? Look at this guy. He is hurting so bad because he's alone. And everyone's looking at him like, this is like this is like a game of Among Us. You know how in Among Us, when the thing goes off, they all sit on the table. They're like, which one of us is the one? Which one of us is the one?
Right.
Every single one of them is like, it's him. That's the one. It's him. It's him. He's the one. Vote him off the island. And then why? Shane fucking, because he tries reversing it, and Shane immediately is like, fuck you, bitch. Watch, listen.
It's not pretty.
I couldn't, if a lady put my legs up, I'd be like, I'd spaz.
Oh, yeah. And you got those big white cheeks.
Ugh. Yeah.
Oh, with that red hole.
Fuck you, dude. You're the one who got your fucking little gay ass eaten. Trying to turn it on me.
It felt great.
I was ready to turn myself.
Shane immediately, fuck you, bitch.
Yo, he
Come at me with
reversed
that
he,
shit.
He Uno reversed that so fast.
So
It's like-
fucking fast. So fast.
He didn't even let it. He's just, fuck you, dude. You're the one who fucking.
Yeah. He's like, you got your gay little ass eaten. What the fuck are you talking about?
Listen, Mark, you described Shane's butt and butthole way too detailed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm almost looking at you like, how do you know that much detail about Shane's butt?
Oh,
and why did Shane get so defensive?
Oh, yeah, dude. And Mark's looking for a lifeline anywhere he can. He's like, what do I say to pull myself out of this one? Because the boys are all getting suspicious now. The heat is fucking on. And he's still squirming. He's like, I don't know. I did get my gay ass eaten. Comedy. He always said that. Comedy. Fucking so fucking funny, man. And, you know, like, Mark, he just can't get himself out of it. And this starts this whole thing of like them just being stuck on this horny talk. Like the boys are just aching for a girl to be around. I'm surprised Joe doesn't invite girls around more often. You know what I mean? And I have a feeling he knows that if he did, he'd have these other three motherfuckers staring at her like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that scene in Liar Liar where Jim Carrey's in the elevator and he's like, because that girl's got the milkers and the fucking
Mama.
Mama. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All the other guys would be like, there's a girl here. You know what I mean? They'd be like, whoa, there's a fucking girl here. And they're talking about it all. They're talking about bestiality videos. You'll see.
So you could stop them from getting through the door and they could pop the tape out in time.
Yeah.
But it was this lady, she blew a German Shepherd.
Hell yeah.
And she let I think she let a donkey fuck her and a couple other animals.
I remember that German Shepherd lady because she had nice tits.
Really?
And
Pull her up.
Yeah, his dad.
Of course, Ari, the most disgusting one out of the goddamn group, is gonna find a way to fucking glorify this woman who's going around doing all these nefarious things in the barnyard. And look at his face right now. That's the face of a man who's truly lost his way. You know? He's got that like under 75 IQ stare going on right now. He's like, the German Shepherd girl had huge tits. Pull that up, Jamie. His lip is quivering like a dog. You know when a dog sees like a squirrel in a window and their mouth starts shaking, like they start making that weird noise?
Mm-hmm.
He's revved up, dude. He's revved up. They won't stop talking about this bestiality stuff. We can keep playing this one.
she won a Nobel Prize for computer science.
Doggy style.
Yeah, she went
Roast
crazy after she sucked a couple of dog
Yeah.
dicks. Pretty
What?
wild. Yeah,
That
his
was
dad
the
won a Nobel
profile.
Prize.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
That's
that was when I think a lot of people got freaked out about terrorism. Seeing that, like, oh
Now,
my
see, stop
God.
right here.
Like, they will cut.
Notice how they went from talking about like the barnyard stuff, and then Joe just goes, and see, that's why people are getting freaked out about terrorism. That's one of the things that got people real freaked out about terrorism.
I'm not gonna lie to you. As he did that transition, I almost felt like something got skipped because I was like, how did he go from that to that? I swear I thought it was my headphones. I took it off to check it on real quick. I'm like, wait.
This fucker's
What is he
getting
saying?
old, man.
Yeah, what the hell?
He's getting fucking old. So the whole reason this even got brought up is because they started talking about like the old days of YouTube. And you remember like back in the day, you could see a video on YouTube of like a guy getting beheaded. You know what I mean? And that's what they were talking about. They're like, remember that reporter on YouTube and he was getting hacksawed and whatever? And then that's what leads to them going, oh, you remember Barnyard Betty and all this and blah, blah, blah. And Joe starts mixing the conversations. Like, they're already past the terrorism part. Nobody even gives a fuck about the part that is involved in with the reporter, whatever. They're all talking about Barnyard Betty. Ari's like, this girl's got massive honkers. Jamie, pull it up. And this guy starts wanting to bring up a conversation that happened like 5 fucking minutes ago. And
What the?
he's getting old. He's getting old. But the boys, they kind of pick up on this. They're like, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right here. Watch, listen, Shane gets him. Watch.
Cut your head off on video just to freak everybody out. It's not just killing people. It's like a very specific thing they're doing.
Probably a great dog, though. That's the most chill dog in the world.
See, pause it real
Just
quick.
fucking some hot blonde.
Mark is still on the dog. You get what I'm saying? So now Mark thinks that Joe is like, man, when that girl blew that German Shepherd in the barn, it really sparked off a lot of people's, fear of terrorism in the country. Mark is like, whoa, where's this conversation going? You know what I mean? So Mark is thinking that they're still talking about the dog. And he's like, well, I mean, it was probably a nice dog. It couldn't have been that bad of a dog. You know what I mean? Like, he's thinking that Joe is saying the dog is linked to terrorism. And then Shane has to intervene and be like, can we stop having fucking 2 conversations at once, please? Watch, listen to him.
We're going back and forth.
We got
on
2
stories.
combos going that are very different.
I was still on the dog, the German Shepherd.
No, I was on the guy getting
See,
his head cut off.
Joe's all
What
over the
cross
goddamn
wires
place.
are
He
we on?
doesn't know
It's
where
funny.
the fuck he's at.
When did Shane become the host of the Joe Rogan
I don't know. This guy,
Experience?
Joe thinks he's over at fucking Kill Tony right now. He's like, where am I? He's like fucking Biden right now. He's like, oh.
I love how though Joe he like stood on business. He was like, I'm talking about this.
Mhm.
I'm like, what the? I'm like, dude, get your show together.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is happening here, man? Shane immediately with the quickness, he's like, wait a minute. This is not the way you podcast. This guy's been doing it for 25 years. He's clearly lost his goddamn way.
It almost seems like Shane's like, listen, I'm not gonna let what happened on Hot Ones happen. Let me fix this. Let me fix this on this show at least.
I didn't even think about that. This is like Shane's redemption arc. He's like, I'm on somebody else's show again. I gotta really pull this together. He's like, I'm the only glue here. Because we all know how bad that hot one's fucking goddamn. Oh my god.
He's like, I already dealt with Sean. Joe, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Everybody on the
Look at
internet.
this dude.
Everyone talking about that Hot Ones thing. One of the comments, the top comments on that Hot Ones episode was, these two have the energy of two guys that don't know each other who are both waiting for a mutual friend to come. That's exactly what the episode felt like. You ever like meet somebody, your friend is too late, like, and you get there a little too early, and you meet the other acquaintance that you're like, oh man, you know? It's a situation where like, I'm bringing my friend. I'm going to bring my other friend. And you get caught. You meet that person. You're like, I don't know shit about this guy. But I cannot wait for George to show up. It's exactly the same type of stuff. And now Shane's trying to redeem himself by pulling together the Joe Rogan show. And Joe's so happy. He's like, thank God he did that. This could get clipped. I don't know what I would do if this gets clipped. He's getting old. But then you know what's funny about this, Andy, is they end up talking about some shit that we talked about. We covered some shit. We finally did it, folks. We covered some shit before a mainstream podcast. You thought it could only be done by the pros, and look at us amateurs right here, right now, making waves. I think that it's safe to say that Joe Rogan may have actually copied us. Jamie might have actually saw the show and said, I think I found the next thing that we can talk about on the JRE real quick. How else could they have heard about that? How else could they have heard about the same stuff that we're talking about? You remember the Sweet Taste of Freedom, the bull?
Yeah.
That ended up escaping the fucking rodeo show and just fucked everyone's day up. They end up talking about that.
Shocking video.
I know.
There it is, right here. Give me some volume.
He's got a plan.
Start it from the beginning so you can hear the.
Oh!
Oh,
Look at that. We don't
Wait,
even have
there's
to
a
watch
great
it
one right
anymore.
there.
We covered it last week, Joe. I'm sorry. You're too slow. Jamie had to have watched that episode. He had to have watched the last episode and stole that from us.
I
There's
think
no other
it's
way.
fair to say Jamie is a fan of Lost Aux Media. It's got to be said. It's
There's
100% true.
really no other explanation. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You know?
Actually, you know what? I think you should take this time right now, look into the camera, and just give him a perfect message if you want. Because he's listening. We know he's listening, and you know he's watching.
Jamie, my DMs are open. So if you need ideas for the show next time, just message me. You don't have to. I'm the one that takes care of the Instagram account, so it is me that you're talking to if you need to talk to me about any topics for the show. So, yeah, but and then they keep going with the sex talk. They keep going with the sex talk. It's fucking unbelievable. Like, I think the next thing they start talking about is like Joe's dick. All of them are like, bro, you got a solid piece, bro. You got a solid piece, bro. They can't stop. Dude, this episode ended up getting me horned up. I started calling like old FWBs and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, these guys fucking got me. You know, this stuff is like the plague. You can't get too many horny guys in a room together. That's how, you know, fucked up shit starts happening. Wars, famine, Donald Trump election, all that kind of shit. But yeah, they all start praising Joe's hog. Check this out.
The beginning of the
There
look
it
at that.
is.
Look at that hard on. That guy. That's a ridiculous dick. Imagine
Really?
that dick.
Jizzing on a
I've
kid?
seen yours. You're all right.
Thank you. But that
You got
seems
it,
like you would hurt
Joe.
somebody.
You got a nice penis.
You got a
very
hammer.
What the fuck?
Thank you very much.
Very
Appreciate
nice
it, guys.
wang.
We getting that
Guys are
cold
sweet.
plunge, dude. Joe's
I saw that.
my dick evaporates.
evaporates. It's
That thing is
what are we
still
doing here? That I don't understand that
What are we
because they're
talking
clearly
about?
not trying to be funny. So it's like, what did you just? I don't know. I'm friends with. I could have my best guy friend. I could have just seen his dick, and I still wouldn't compliment on him. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not one of those like homophobe kind of guys either. I don't give a shit. You know, you could have his dick out. I just don't want to compliment it. You know what I mean? These guys love it. They're like, we need to praise that hog on the most widespread platform in the world.
is it me? I don't want to make this a race thing, but is it me or is it just white guys who do this? Because I'm Latino, you're Latino.
Mhm.
I've hung around with black guys. I've hung around with Asian guys. I have yet to encounter that.
No, it's a race thing. Okay.
Okay.
It is
cool.
white people.
All right. All right. I was gonna say.
Anytime you get a group of these doughy whites together and you get some alcohol involved, a dick is coming out. A dick is coming out. It has to happen. It's like one of those laws, you know what I mean? Those physics laws where it's like anything that bad that will happen or can happen will happen, like type things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Alcohol, doughy whites that turn red when they're drunk, dicks are coming out. It's guaranteed. It is guaranteed. And Diddy's in the back corner.
Yes.
Jerking it up. You know what I mean? He's got one. He's cranking them out. And they keep going. Mark ends up out in Doug Stanhope in the one story. Which Doug's not even there. Doug Stanhope's not even there. And they keep talking about sex. Like what time code are we on right now?
118. The gang praises Rogan's dick.
This is an hour into fucking a 3-hour show. They're still talking about sex. Jesus. And then they end up talking about when Mark ends up outing Doug Stanhope in this one story. Let's go to that one. What time is that at? I don't even know. Like,
Pretty sure.
What's
Didn't
his
he?
name from Wyoming was there
I
for
don't
a
know.
long time.
I heard
so
a great
now
Stanhope story.
we're
I don't
over
know if
2
I'm allowed
hours
to
in,
say it.
folks.
But don't say it then.
Okay.
Give it a chance.
Tell us later.
Think
Give
about
it
it
a
for 20
chance.
seconds.
It's pretty funny, but it's like, I think it's pretty tame.
Give it a chance.
Look,
I'll
hold
give it
up.
to you. We can cut it
Okay.
out. J-Mo,
So
make a
even
time.
before this, Mark's like, should I tell this story? I don't know if I should tell this story. If you're on a platform that tens of millions of people listen to a week, and you have that thought in your head, you shouldn't tell the story, Mark. I'm sorry, you shouldn't tell the story. It's the same thing. Like if somebody, if you meet someone and they're an alcoholic, and you're like, if you have the question in your head, am I an alcoholic? If you're contemplating it, you're an alcoholic. So it's the same thing. Mark, if you're having the thought, don't tell the story. But no, Mark doesn't give a fuck. Everyone encourages him too, which is that's kind of funny, I guess. Is like everyone's like, no, fuck Doug. Tell the story. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck Doug and his career and whatever might happen, just tell the story. So funny. Listen to this.
No.
Okay.
Carl will be ready with the butt, with a dump.
When Zanies opened in
Nashville?
yes, he went and no one knew who he was. You know, he walked like half the room. People were like, "This is horrible. You're weird. You're anti-Bible, whatever." And the bartender there was some lady, and it was her first night at a comedy club bartending. And she went up to him after. She was like, "You're disgusting. That was abhorrent. That was inappropriate. That was crazy." She didn't know comedy.
Yeah.
So then, whatever. Cut to 30 years later, he comes back to Zanies, kills, like has one of these magical sets, annihilates. Great night. He gets off stage, and she was like, she now had been seasoned with comedy. She's heard all these people over the years, and she's like, that was great. They go out. He ends up fucking her back at his or her apartment, and he's over the balcony fucking her. She's like, you don't remember me? You don't remember me? He's like, nah, I don't remember you, whatever. And they're fucking, and now he's got her over the balcony fucking her doggy style, and he goes, you're disgusting.
Is that true?
That's a crazy story. Sorry, guys. I just took a hit of the vape. The good one, not the nicotine one. This one's nicotine.
Oh.
The darker ones is the good, the good stuff. But so basically, in a nutshell, Mark's like, Doug, he did this set. He walked the room. Everybody thought he fucking sucked. And one girl said, hey, you're fucking gross. And then Mark says 30 years later. So according to Mark, this woman would be like 105 because Doug Stanhope is old as shit. So then Doug is, according to Mark's story, Doug is plowing out this old woman, and then he gets his revenge. He says, no, you're disgusting. So he gets his revenge, right? And it's just a stupid pass-by story. You know, they're all still talking about sex. Once again, I said this. It's like over 2 hours now. They're still talking about this one topic, and Mark is just trying to be one of the guys. You know what I mean? He's just trying to fucking hang out, tell a story, be relevant in the thing. And Joe's not having it. You know, Shane's got some power behind him. When Shane talks shit, says stuff, whatever, Joe deals with it. Because Joe's like, this guy is funnier than me. What else am I supposed to do? I mean, he's way funnier than me. I can't. What am I going to just? They're going to make me follow him on stage, and then I'm going to be fucked. Then my whole career is going to fall apart. Not so much with Mark. And then Mark tells his story, and Joe immediately is like, "Is that true?" Calls him out, but not only calls him out, Joe wants to prove it. Look what he says to Mark. Listen to this.
I mean, I don't know. It's a story I heard.
It's a fun story.
How's he gonna know?
Cut that out.
No, I don't. I think that's all right.
That's all right.
Is that all right?
Probably
Stanhope,
not true. I feel like we should check.
I feel like we should check. Watch. Pause that.
All right.
You hear
Yeah.
Joe? It's probably not true. I don't know. Meanwhile, Joe is constantly saying shit that ends up getting fact checked all the time. We do too. We do too. We don't do research here. Okay, no research done here. But Joe, he's always like, he just says shit. And then do you ever watch an episode, he'll turn to Jamie and go, actually, you know what? Check that to make sure. He just spouts shit off the top of his fucking head. And then he checks the facts afterwards. You know what I mean? He just goes all over the fucking place. So one guy says something that this is not even irrelevant. No one's life will be impacted by this. Not even Doug's life will be impacted by this story, most likely. And Joe immediately, you know what? We're going to fact check this. But this is not Jamie pull it up. Watch what he does to him. Check this out.
Chuck
Yeah,
Long.
if we know
Right,
Doug
let's call him.
Stanhope, I'm sure he does.
He
He'd be
wants to
like,
call
whatever, I have
Doug.
fucked. It's
He
fine.
wants to call
Let's
Doug.
find out.
What? Pause this.
Find out what's going on.
He wants to call Doug. He says, no, Jamie pulled this up. He's going to fucking call Doug. That's how much he wants to call out Mark. How dare you, sir? How fucking dare you, sir?
Look at this dude.
Look at him. Look at his face right now. He's so fucking into it. He's like looking down at his contacts. He probably needs those fucking glasses, the ones that only sit on the bottom half of your cheeks or whatever. You know what I mean? He can't see the phone. You know how the boomers, they pick up the phone, they're like, they pull it all the way back like that. All the way back like that. He goes, oh man, I think that's Doug's number. Hold on. Meanwhile, the text is at like 15, right? So the top half of the screen is only 3 letters of the word. And the bottom half is the other 3 letters of the same word. So he has to keep scrolling down to it takes him 3 minutes to read 2 different people's names on the goddamn phone. That's how old this fucking guy is. And you could see it on him. He's fucking focusing in trying to get Doug's number pulled up. And then watch. Do we think Doug answers? Let's see.
on here.
But what a great
we
call,
could also-
30-year callback.
You want to FaceTime Kid Rock? I bet you he says something
Call him up.
retarded.
I think
Let's get Kid Rock on our pod.
I have a bunch of
First
calls
guest.
Here. Let's see.
Here we go.
Ask if the story's real.
Doug, where are you?
Who rules more than Stanhope?
He's the best.
Doug. Knock, knock.
He might not
Look
have
at
woken
this.
up yet.
He's, probably,
He's in Arizona.
6 p.m. Yeah, I might be asleep.
he's shaking a drink. He can't answer.
No answer, Joe.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's one number. Let me try.
Sorry,
No, I've been
buddy.
out there. He wakes up early.
You can't check Mark. Mark's story is going to go unchecked. Sorry. I hate to do it to you. But Joe's not going to let this one go. You think he's going to let this one go. He's not going to let this one go. He calls Doug again. He calls Doug again because he doesn't want to just let this story pass by on a topic that no one gives a fuck about. We're all, and every single all 11 million people listening to this episode are like, will you please go on to the next subject? We're dying to hear Shane tell a joke. Anything. We will listen to anything but this. Anything. But no. We go to the next time code. Joe tries calling Doug again.
We go downstairs, and he's also, I mean, we're dying at the concept of 2 fucking ogres. Me and Sam on your roof.
Huge, man.
Cackling about you. You've let us into your home.
Look, they weren't even, pause that real fast. They weren't even, they were all moved on. All 3 of them were like completely moved on. They're still talking about Doug, yes, but they're on to the next story.
Yeah.
Shane's telling a story about how him and Sam Talent are just relentlessly making fun of Doug at his house. And Joe still has to call him. Nobody's even asking for this shit. He's in the background. You can hear the phone in the background of the conversation. Yeah. He's like, please, Doug, pick up. Please pick up. Please. I need to prove Mark wrong on the show, Doug. And guess what? Doug still doesn't answer the fucking phone. It still doesn't happen. Watch this shit.
Actually, funny.
Right. I get it.
But Meatwig, no. But then we go downstairs. He's drunk. We're high on
Shane
mushrooms.
still doesn't care about the phone call.
The first thing he does, he turns to us, he takes a drag of a cigarette, and he's like, do you boys remember Bentley Dustin?
Still doesn't fucking pick up the phone.
Bullshit.
Sorry, Joe. Doug doesn't give a fuck. He's busy. It's probably the first time anybody's not answered the phone for Joe, ever.
That's annoying, though, man. Just like let it go. God.
Oh yeah. He's like somebody trying to get a hold of their coke dealer. He's like, please, I need another gram. These fucking other 3, they're fucking killing me right now. But yeah, I don't know. They just keep going on with this bullshit, you know, and it doesn't make for a good episode. You know, it just doesn't make for a good episode, in my opinion. And I love Protect Our Parks. Every time there's a new Protect Our Parks, I'm on it. This one wasn't so good. And, you know, usually by the end of these things, they're all drunk. Ari has this big ongoing thing that for some strange reason, he just doesn't take a piss in Joe's studio. Like, anytime they do these things, they're always getting belligerent ass drunk. And Ari refuses to leave to go to the bathroom. He always wants to pick up a fucking whiskey bottle, a can of beer, some fucking bucket from the ground. Every single time. And Joe, every single time, is like, Ari, stop pissing in the studio. Ari, stop pissing at Ari. You're throwing up, Ari. Every single fucking time. And every single fucking time, Ari does it again. And I guess it's just part of his humor or whatever. But finally in this episode, every single one of them are like, Ari, you're a fucking piece of shit. Watch, we'll end it on this one as far as Protect Our Parks go. But yeah, they just get like so sick of him. They're like, fuck you, dude.
But 5.
You know, we haven't played in a long time, boys.
What?
Freebird.
Oh!
Watch, Joe's going to start eyeing Ari, watch.
If we're gonna go America, yeah, just start it now. We're gonna go full Bud Light, full America.
Look at
Joe,
him.
Full Kid Rock. How much piss did you leave on the floor?
Dude, what the
Wrapping
fuck?
What are you doing? You're rapping what?
You see that?
Put that in the garbage. You fucking weirdo.
See, Joe is so fucking fed up, dude. Joe, Shane's in the background like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Like, can you stop pissing in the studio for one fucking week? When I see stuff like that, like Ari has his own podcast. When I see stuff like that, like if I were to be invited as a guest on that show, I would start thinking about shit like that. I'd be like, no, this guy probably sits on the chairs naked and shit like that. Like, I don't know. Not going to that goddamn show.
No.
Let's get this. Why? So I can catch the Jew from Art. Get me sick with this Jewness. Just kidding. We're cutting that out. Let's go to the next series of time codes.
And hold my fart like a bong rip.